Okay, we should be streaming. Can anybody hear me? Anybody on chat? Just give me a thumbs up in chat if anybody can hear me okay. Well, I'm just doing a little bit of prep and then the show will begin. So what I've decided is to essentially restream a session I had yesterday, which was a voice only session with ChatGPT using the iPad, and it was surprisingly effective. So I decided to keep the audio, restream it, and perhaps comment on it as we go along, because there's a lot of complex work that the code interpreter does, and while it does that, there'll be a lot of silence. So we'll try and fill the gaps, but it could be confusing because I'll be talking to you live as well as talking to you from recording yesterday. So we'll see how that pans out. I might have to put myself through a voice changer or something so you can figure out if you're hearing yesterday's Tommy or today's Tommy, future Tommy. So right now I'm just setting up my development environment with some of the projects I've been working on. These are some DALL-E images that were generated for in fact I'll show you the conversation I had regarding themes in Tolstoy and Dickens. It was interesting because the model refused to generate Dickensian imagery, but it was happy to generate Tolstoy imagery. You can see Dali is learning to use words now. Not bad. Passable. I think we should have some music while I get this set up. ChatGPT, can you give me a Dali image to represent the Grateful Dead song Scarlet Begonias?
Closing the door, had one of those flashes. I've been there before, been there before. And I ain't alright, but I've never been wrong. you look at it right.
Reminiscent of 1960s psychedelic art. There's a peaceful, whimsical atmosphere and subtle musical notes in the background. Let me know what you think. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Read some of the lyrics about. It starts with Grosvenor Square in London, right? So, can you come up with a Dali photo of Grosvenor Square from the time period, 1960s?
Sure, I can share a snippet from Scarlet Begonias, a song by the Grateful Dead. As I was walking down Grosvenor Square.
Okay, just give me the Dali image for that. So this is the first Dali image.
Inspired by the lyric, as I was walking down Grosvenor Square from the Grateful Dead's Scarlet Begonias. It shows a person strolling through Grosvenor Square in London, surrounded by a serene setting with a few scarlet begonias. Let me know your thoughts on this one. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
So there's your Scarlet Begonias image. I don't think that's Grosvenor Square though.
There ain't nothing wrong with the way she moves. Oh, Scarlet
Can you
Begonias are a touch
create
of
a
love.
more accurate Can you make a more accurate representation of Grosvenor Square in the 1960s?
Could be the hard way to let
I'm asking it for 1960s because that's when I think Robert Hunter wrote the lyrics, or perhaps early 70s.
And the elegant, bustling atmosphere of the era, with people in period attire enjoying the park. Let me know how this one fits with your vision. You can check out the images in our conversation history.
Can you say that again, please?
Sure. The image shows Grosvenor Square in London during the 1960s, capturing its classic Georgian architecture and the elegant, bustling atmosphere of that era. You'll see people in period attire, some walking around, others enjoying the park on benches. Let me know what you think about this depiction.
Who wrote the song and when?
By the Grateful Dead in
Wind in the windows play G42.
Garcia composed the music while Hunter wrote the
The
lyrics.
sky was
They
yellow
were
and the
famous
sun was
songwriting duo.
blue.
Garcia is the band's lead guitarist and Hunter is a non-performing.
Strangers stopping strangers.
Okay,
Just to shake
thinking about Jerry Garcia and Robert Hunter and the time, 1973, I think you said, come up with an even better and more vivid, more accurate image, please.
Not a chill to the winter, but a nip to the air.
Check out the images.
From the other direction.
I was hoping for another image of Grosvenor Square.
Could be an illusion,
That's pretty good
but
though.
I might as well
This psychedelic stuff, this is what DALL-E is best at, because it doesn't matter if it makes mistakes. You never know anyway. Hallucinations are to be expected.
She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her
This has
curl.
even got some text in it. Grateful
I
Dead.
knew right away
Almost.
she was not like other girls, other girls.
And people dressed at night.
In the heat of the evening when the dealer got up,
Adorned with lush greenery, colorful flowers.
she was too fat to open and too cool to blood.
Let me know how this one feels. You can check out the images in our
As I
conversation.
picked up my matches, was closing the door. Had one of those flashes. I'd been there before.
That's
been
pretty
there
funny.
before.
Let's take a look at this.
And I ain't always right, but I've never been wrong. Seldom turns out the way it does in the song.
If there's anything else you'd like to explore or another image you have in mind, feel free to let me know.
Once in a while you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right.
It's always interesting to see AI and visualize.
There ain't nothing wrong with the way she moves. Oh, scarlet begonias are a touch of the blues. There's nothing wrong with the way she caught my eye. Could be the hard way.
Okay, so
Let her pass by,
it
let
looks
her
like
pass
half of the
by.
car is missing, and half of the car is made out of the torso of a man. Haha, there's a lot of half man, half car pictures here. Here's a woman that looks like an alien.
Wind in the windows play GPT-4. The sky was yellow and the sun was blue. Strangers stop being
No, I'm just thinking out loud.
strangers
Well, respond.
just to shake their hand. Everybody's playing in the heart of Goldland, heart of Goldland.
And I'll be
Yes, rubber ducking. I said rubber ducking. Rubber duck. Quack quack.
any illusion, but I might as well try, as well try. She had rings on her fingers and bells on her shoes. I knew without asking she was into the blues. She wore scarlet begonias tucked into her curls. I knew right away she was not like other girls, other girls. In the heat of the evening when the dealer got up, she was too bad to open and too cool to bluff. As I picked up my matches, was closing the door. Had one of those flashes, I'd been there before, been there before. And I ain't often right, but I've never been wrong. Seldom turns out the way it does in the song. Once in a while you get shown the light in the strangest of places if you look at it right. There ain't nothing wrong with the way she moves. All scarlet begonias are a touch of the blues. There's nothing wrong with the way she caught my eye. Could be the hard way to let her pass by, let her pass by. Wind in the windows play T4 The sky was yellow and the sun was blue. Strangers stopping strangers just to shake their hand. Everybody's playing in the heart of Goldland, heart of Goldland.
Okay, so this is the screen. This is the session I recorded the other day using just voice interaction with ChatGPT. could just play the video, or I could ask ChatGPT to remind me how to separate the music from the video, and we'll play them separately. So I'll use the quick terminal tool from Simon Willison, LLM, and I'll use the latest GPT-4 turbo model. Temperature to 0, which controls randomness, and we don't want randomness when we're asking a technical question. So let's see. And in fact, I've just realised I have a function set up already, especially for terminal questions. Works. In fact, I should have given it a file path as well. We have an error message. Let's feed the error back to GPT. Wow, that's slow. Oh, well. It's finished, so to open for some reason. Okay. We should be up and running now. Oh, that's weird. Looks like Audacious is playing. Based on everything I've told you so far, can you guess how I want you to proceed?
Given the information you've provided, you seem to be setting up an advanced, streamlined workflow for handling complex programming tasks, particularly those involving CUDA and internet access. You're looking for efficient and structured code delivery, precise environment setup, and clear instructions for execution and result handling. If we were to proceed, it seems you would want me to. 1. Provide code that is optimized for multi-threading and multiprocessing. 2. Ensure that any code involving CUDA is ready for your Linux environment with Python 3.8, with a preference for reusing an existing Python environment. Offer scripts and files necessary for tasks that require internet access, along with a method to upload results back for analysis. 4. Use a clear naming convention for files, and ensure all deliverables are zipped if there are multiple files, providing a singular executable file when appropriate. 5. Make sure that the output is ready to be ingested by the code interpreter for further interaction. If you have a specific task you want to start with, or if there's something else you had in mind, let me know, and we can jump right into it.
Okay.
I need to configure my CUDA environment to match yours as closely as possible. Run the commands in Python to gather the data needed to instruct me on that further.
The Python environment is running version 3.8.10, and the operating system is Linux version 4.4.0 with glibc 2.29. There's an extensive list of installed packages, including data processing libraries like NumPy and Pandas, machine learning libraries such as XGBoost, Torch, and scikit-learn, as well as web-related packages like requests and AIOHTTP. For your CUDA environment configuration, you'd want to 1. Ensure Python 3.8.10 is installed. 2. Replicate the OS environment as closely as possible to Linux with glibc 2.29. 3. Install the packages listed, particularly those relevant to your CUDA work. You might not need all the packages for CUDA-specific tasks, but having a similar environment can help avoid discrepancies in behavior. Remember to install CUDA-compatible versions of libraries like Torch. Would you like a text file with all the package names and versions for reference?
Yes.
I have created a text file with a list of installed packages and their versions. You can download it using the link below. Download the installed packages list. Please open your app to see this link. This file will help you set up your CUDA environment to match this one as closely as possible. If you need further assistance, feel free to ask.
In order to be comprehensive and taking into account the packages that you have installed, what can you run in your Python environment now to gather further information? Thank you.
So just to recap, this is replaying a voice session I recorded yesterday.
Here is more detailed information about the Python environment. Python version 3.8.10, final release level. System architecture, 64-bit ELF, processor information, x86-64, Python build default, compiled on May 26, 2023 at 14.5.8, Python compiler, GCC 9.4.0. This data, along with the install packages, should provide a comprehensive view of the environment. You can use this to ensure your local setup for CUDA is as close as possible to this one, particularly if you're working on cross-platform Python projects or need consistency across different systems. If you need this information in a text file or have further questions, let me know.
What else could you tell me using the Python interpreter?
The Python interpreter can be used to explore a variety of system and environment details, run diagnostic checks, perform calculations, and even interact with the operating system to manage files and directories. Here are some of the things I could provide. 1. Environment variables. Using os.in.
Is there anything else I would need to configure my environment, bearing in mind the instructions about being detailed and setting up a script, if possible, to run on my side? Thank you.
To configure your environment with high detail, you would consider the following steps. 1. Virtual environment setup. Create a virtual environment specifically for your CUDA work to avoid conflicts with other projects. 2. Python configuration. Make sure Python 3.8.10 is the version you're using, as this matches the interpreter environment here. 3. System dependencies. Ensure your Linux system has all the necessary development tools and libraries that match this environment, like Build Essential, GCC, G++, and others as per the compiler version used here, GCC 9.4.0. 4. CUDA toolkit and drivers. Install the appropriate NVIDIA CUDA toolkit and drivers that are compatible with the version of the libraries you'll be using. 5. Library dependencies. Install the Python libraries and their exact versions used here. This might include CUDA-aware libraries like Torch. Use the requirements.txt that I provided earlier to install these. 6. Environment variables. Set environment variables that are required for CUDA and any other tools you're using, which might include path, LD library path, and CUDA home. 7. Hardware verification. Run diagnostics to ensure your GPU is recognized by the system and is CUDA capable using NVIDIA SMI or similar tools. 8. Script for automation. Write a shell script to automate the setup process. This script would update the system, install the necessary packages, create the virtual environment, activate it, and install Python packages. Here's a very high-level example of what such a script might look like. You can see the code in our conversation history. Please note, this is a generic template, and you would need to customize it with the actual paths and package versions to match your setup. You would also need to handle any CUDA-specific environment setup in more detail. Would you like to proceed with creating a detailed script, or do you need information on any specific part of the configuration?
Proceed with creating the detailed and complete script.
Creating a detailed script to set up your CUDA environment involves several steps that need to be tailored to your specific system and requirements. Below is an example of a bash script that you might run on your local Linux system to configure the environment. Please note that you will need to adjust paths, version numbers, and possibly add additional configurations that are specific to your hardware and software needs. You can see the code in our conversation history. Before running this script, replace the placeholder URLs and paths with actual ones that correspond to your system and software versions. Also, ensure that you have the necessary permissions to execute these commands, and that your system's package manager is compatible with the script commands. Please be aware that running scripts like this can make significant changes to your system and should only be done if you're comfortable with the command line and have backups of important data. Do you need assistance with any specific commands or steps in this script?
I need help understanding why you are not following the instructions that I set up at the beginning.
I apologize for any confusion. You've asked for a detailed script to configure your CUDA environment to match the code interpreter's environment as closely as possible. The script I provided is a generic example that outlines the steps typically involved in setting up a CUDA environment on a Linux system. It includes updating the system, installing necessary compilers, setting environment variables for CUDA, creating a Python virtual environment, and installing Python packages. Since the code interpreter here doesn't actually utilize CUDA, it's a CPU-based environment, the script doesn't directly reflect the interpreter's setup, but is aimed at preparing your local system for CUDA use, which seemed to be your intention based on previous exchanges. If you're looking for a script that matches the non-GPU Python environment of the interpreter, the focus would be solely on Python packages, Python version, and operating system details, excluding CUDA-specific steps. Let me know how you would like to proceed, or if there's a particular aspect you'd like to clarify or prioritize.
If it's done, then give me the files to download.
If anybody is confused about what's happening here, I'm using ChatGPT with voice, and the ChatGPT has access to a virtual machine. It has access to a computer of its own on which it can program. It can write Python scripts, it can write, in fact it can write anything you can think of. It can actually
build. The script
build.
for setting up your CUDA environment is ready. You can download it using the link below. Download setup cudaenvironment.sh. Please open your app to see this link. Remember to replace the placeholders and adjust the commands to fit your specific system and version requirements before running the script. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please let me know.
While I'm setting that up, let's discuss some tests. I need a test to confirm a couple of variables just to make sure that the variables in my Python environment match what is expected. And in addition to that, I want to run some benchmarks. So we will run some CPU benchmarks on your Python environment, and we will run the same CPU benchmarks on my environment, and we'll see how those match up, just comparing CPU to CPU, just to confirm that the systems are roughly in sync.
That sounds like a solid plan, Tommy. To compare the environments, you'll want to ensure the tests are as similar as possible. Here's how you can proceed. 1. Environment variables test. In Python, you can use the os.environ to check environment variables. You can write a simple script that prints out the values of the variables you're interested in. 2. CPU benchmark test. You can use Python libraries like timeit to measure the execution time of standard algorithms or computations that stress the CPU. This can be a good proxy for CPU performance. You could also use a library like psudo to gather system performance data. Here is an example of how you might write these tests in Python. For environment variables test, you can see the code in our conversation history. For CPU benchmark test, you can see the code in our conversation history. You would run these scripts in both environments and compare the output. The environment variable test will confirm configuration, and the CPU benchmark will give you a rough comparison of CPU performance. Would you like to proceed with these tests, or is there a specific benchmark or variable you have in mind?
Generate the scripts that we will need, bearing in mind that I will also need to download them and run them, and you will need to be able to run them, so we want to be able to replicate this as necessary.
So when I'm giving these instructions, it can actually write the code and then run the code, execute the code in its own virtual PC, virtual
The
machine.
scripts for checking the environment variables and running a CPU benchmark are ready. You can download them using the links below. Download envtest.py. Please open your app to see this link for the environment variables test. Download CPU benchmark test.py. Please open your app to see this link for the CPU benchmark test. Once downloaded, you can run these scripts in your Python environment to perform the checks. If you have any specific benchmarks or additional tests you want to include, let me know and I can add those to the scripts.
What are some good benchmarks for quickly stress testing CPU-bound tasks?
So this whole session was basically about exploring the
For
virtual
quickly
environment.
stress testing CPU-bound tasks in Python, you would typically look for operations that are computationally intensive and can run in a short period of time. Here are some common types of tasks used as benchmarks. 1. Mathematical computations. Operations like prime number calculations, Fibonacci sequence generation, or matrix multiplications. Libraries like NumPy are often used for matrix operations due to their efficiency. 2. Sorting algorithms. Implementing quicksort or merge sort on large datasets. You can
So I'm basically getting it to
go
give me
ahead
information about
and
its own system.
Run those.
Sure, let's create a simple yet effective CPU stress test using some of the methods I mentioned. This script will perform a series of computationally intensive tasks that are common in benchmarks, such as mathematical computations and data processing.
The problem I have with the voice interaction is if you pause while
You can
thinking.
download the script using the link below and run it on your environment. Download cpustresstest.py. Please open your app to see this link. Once you've run the test, you can compare the execution times to those from this environment to check how the CPU performance matches up. If you need any modifications to the script or further tests, just let me know.
Have you run the benchmarks on your own environment?
The script for CPU benchmarking is ready. It includes tests for mathematical operations, matrix multiplication, and string manipulation, all of which are CPU-intensive tasks. You can download and run this script to stress test the CPU in your environment. Download cpubenchmark.py. Please open your app to see this link. After downloading, run the script with Python to see how your CPU handles these tasks. If you need further assistance or more specific benchmarks, please let me know.
Run those in the virtual environment.
So now it's actually going to run benchmarks on its own virtual machine. And give me the output.
It looks like there was an oversight in the execution of the benchmark functions.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
The matrix operations test using NumPy for matrix multiplication took approximately 1.352 seconds. The string operations test, creating permutations of a string, took approximately 0.0037 seconds. These timings provide an indication of how the CPU handles different types of computational tasks. You can run the same benchmarks in your environment to compare performance. If you'd like to proceed with additional tests or need further analysis, let me know.
Yeah, the tests need to be bigger, as in more and better, and we need to be test. Oh, fuck.
The problem I'm having with the voice is I need to pause and think, and the voice wake word detection, or in fact silence detection, essentially it listens for a silence, a pause, and then it responds. But when you're doing complex tasks like this,
benchmarks have been run. 1. Math operations. Calculating primes up to 50,000 took approximately 0.46 seconds. 2. Matrix operations. Multiplying two 500 by 500 matrices took about 0.13 seconds. 3. String operations. Generating all permutations of an 8-character string took around 0.09 seconds. These tests are larger and more CPU intensive than the previous ones, providing a better stress test. You can run the same benchmarks on your system to compare CPU performance. If you need further adjustments or additional tests, just let me know.
Loop each test 1,000 times.
so I think I'm going to try playing this another way where I can pause it. Okay, so what I was saying, the problem with if you are using the voice and you're doing complex tasks, if you pause, it takes that and it begins working, and if it's a big task that you're asking for, it will go off and do some complex task unless you interrupt it. Now, if it has cut off and you didn't even realize maybe it started working before you'd finished your sentence, you may not have given it enough information to do the task. And I actually found this, it happened at least once or twice, and I can probably show you, where I thought it had heard me, but it actually cut off the end, and it ended up doing something, or not doing half what I expected it to do. So just something to be aware of. You could set it up manually so that you press a button and then speak, but it's nice to have a conversation going.
My CUDA.
No. Requirements.txt that I provided earlier to install these. 6. Environment variables. Set environment variables that are required to configure the environment.
Might.
Typically,
An environment match what is expected, and in addition to that, I want to run some benchmarks. So we will run some CPU benchmarks on your Python environment, and we will run the same CPU benchmarks on my environment, and we'll see how those match up, just comparing CPU to CPU, just to confirm that the systems are roughly in sync.
What I'm really doing is just getting it to reveal information about the
that sounds like a solid plan, Tommy.
VM.
To compare the environments, you'll want to ensure the tests are as similar as possible. Here's how you can proceed. 1. Environment variables test. In Python, you can use the os.environ to check environment variables. You can write a simple script that prints out the values of the variables you're interested in. 2. CPU benchmark test. You can use Python libraries like Timeit to measure the execution time of standard algorithms or computations that stress the CPU. This can be a good proxy for CPU performance. You could also use a library like psudo to gather system performance data. Here is an example of how you might write these tests in Python. for environment variables test. You can see the code in our conversation history. For CPU benchmark test, you can see the code in our conversation history. You would run these scripts in both environments and compare the output. The environment variable test will confirm configuration, and the CPU benchmark will give you a rough comparison of CPU performance. Would you like to proceed with these tests, or is there a specific benchmark or variable you have in mind?
Generate the scripts that we will need, bearing in mind that I will also need to download them and run them, and you will need to be able to run them, so we want to be able to replicate this as necessary.
The scripts for checking the environment variables and running a CPU benchmark are ready. You can download them using the links below. Download entest.i. Please open your app to see this link for the environment variables test. Download CPU benchmark test.i. Please open your app to see this link for the CPU benchmark test. Once downloaded, you can run these scripts in your Python environment to perform the checks. If you have any specific benchmarks or additional tests you want to include, let me know and I can add those to the scripts.
What are some good benchmarks for quickly stress testing CPU-bound tasks?
For quickly stress testing CPU-bound tasks in Python, you would typically look for operations that are computationally intensive and can run in a short period of time. Here are some common types of tasks used as benchmarks. 1. Mathematical computations. Operations like prime number calculations, Fibonacci sequence generation, or matrix multiplications. Libraries like NumPy are often used for matrix operations due to their efficiency. 2. Sorting algorithms. Implementing quicksort or merge sort on large datasets. You can
Okay, go ahead and run those.
Sure, let's create a simple yet effective CPU stress test using some of the methods I mentioned. This script will perform a series of computationally intensive tasks that are common in benchmarks, such as mathematical computations and data processing. You can download the script using the link below and run it on your environment. Download cpustresstest.py. Please open your app to see this link. Once you've run the test, you can compare the execution times to those from this environment to check how the CPU performance matches up. If you need any modifications to the script or further tests, just let me know.
Have you run the benchmarks on your own environment?
The script for CPU benchmarking is ready. It includes tests for mathematical operations, matrix multiplication, and string manipulation, all of which are CPU-intensive tasks. You can download and run this script to stress test the CPU in your environment. Download cpubenchmark.py. Please open your app to see this link. After downloading, run the script with Python to see how your CPU handles these tasks. If you need further assistance or more specific benchmarks, please let me know.
Run those in the virtual environment.
it looks like there was an oversight in the execution of the benchmark functions. The matrix operations test using NumPy for matrix multiplication took approximately 1.352 seconds. The string operations test, creating permutations of a string, took approximately 0.0037 seconds. These timings provide an indication of how the CPU handles different types of computational tasks. You can run the same benchmarks in your environment to compare performance. If you'd like to proceed with additional tests or need further analysis, let me know.
Actually, these benchmarks don't tell us anything.
Yeah, the tests need to be bigger, as in more and better, and we need to be test. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, running 100 or even 1,000 matrix multiplications isn't doing a lot of work, which is why it finishes in 0.0002 seconds. So that's not very informative. It would have to be done probably a million times to get
The expanded
something.
CPU benchmarks have been run. 1. Math operations. Calculating primes up to 50,000 took approximately 0.46 seconds. 2. Matrix operations. Multiplying two 500 by 500 matrices took about 0.13 seconds. 3. String operations. Generating all permutations of an 8-character string took around 0.09 seconds. These tests are larger and more CPU intensive than the previous ones, providing a better stress test. You can run the same benchmarks on your system to compare CPU performance. If you need further adjustments or additional tests, just let me know.
Loop each test 1,000 times.
Yesterday I paid all I leave behind me is all.
If anybody has any requests or questions, feel free to ask.
The tests have been looped 1,000 times each. 1. Math operations. The prime calculation test took roughly 55.52 seconds. 2. Matrix operations. The matrix multiplication test took about 0.11 seconds. 3. String operations. The string permutation test was completed in approximately 0.002 seconds. These longer loops provide a more rigorous stress test for the CPU. You can run these same loops on your system to compare its performance to the results here. If you need the scripts for these tests or have further adjustments, let me know.
Write and run 2 new tests. Use your imagination, but run them just 100 times to begin with, and don't ask me anything again. Just think of them, run them, give me the result.
I would ask the same of you, but fate will not die.
The 2 new imaginative tests were run 100 times each. 1. Recursive Fibonacci sequence calculation. Calculating the 20th number in the Fibonacci sequence recursively took approximately 0.94 seconds. 2. Factorial calculation using a loop. Calculating the factorial of 15 using a loop took about 0.0023 seconds. These tests are designed to stress different aspects of CPU performance, with the Fibonacci test being more recursive and the factorial test being iterative.
That's great. Now we need some music. Pick a Grateful Dead concert.
I'm glad to hear that you're satisfied with the results. If you're ready to move on to the next step, or if there's something else you'd like to explore or discuss, go ahead and let me know what's on your mind.
Pick a date for a Grateful Dead concert.
Choosing a date for a Grateful Dead concert from their touring history is a bit like finding a gem in a treasure trove. There are so many legendary shows. How about we pick July 8, 1978? This is the date of their famous performance at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Colorado, which is often celebrated by fans for its set list and the band's energetic performance. It's one of the many high points in the Grateful Dead's long and storied career.
What was that song recommendation it gave us, Grateful Dead? Touch of Grey.
Pick a Grateful Dead song that encapsulates the feeling of
One song by the Grateful Dead that truly encapsulates their essence and is beloved by many fans is Truckin'. The song's lyrics, "What a long, strange trip it's been," are often quoted in reference to the band's journey and the experiences of their fans. It's a track that captures the spirit of adventure and the highs and lows of life on the road, much like the Grateful Dead's own musical journey.
Which Grateful Dead song do you think would most represent this conversation, this discussion that we've had?
For our detailed and technical discussion, full of intricacies and thoughtful planning, Touch of Grey might be fitting. The song's chorus, "I will get by, I will survive," reflects the perseverance and problem-solving attitude we've embraced throughout our conversation. It's about resilience and making it through complex situations, much like troubleshooting and optimizing in a technical environment. Plus, it has a certain upbeat vibe that can match the sense of achievement when a task is completed successfully.
Well, I fall down St. Louis, later on down the river. Brenda said she's been here, she's gone, boy, she's gone. When I followed down to Memphis, just walked up the road, raised a few eyebrows, and she went on down below.
So it recommended Touch of Grey.
Now write a few shot prompt that instructs ChatGPT to always respond in Grateful Dead lyrics, then write that into a text file for me to download.
Well, down on down the Baton Rouge River Queen, well, take that woman down to New Orleans, New Orleans.
I'm surprised it didn't recommend the Grateful Dead song Estimated Profit. That seems like the perfect song for ChatGPT. I think we want a soundboard. Let's try that again, hey? Oh yeah. Giddy up. So that session has finished, and I can show you, what did it just do then? A few shot prompt. Well, we'll try it from scratch.
Shining on the beach, the sea will part before me. Fire will burn it in the air, and you will follow me. We will rise to glory, way up the middle of the air. And now call down thunder and speak the same. And my word fills the sky with flame. And mate, glory gonna be my name. Yeah, they gonna light my way.
I don't think that's the ideal Okay, so effectively this is automated prompt engineering. I'm using ChatGPT to browse a web page, an OpenAI web page with a guide to prompting, and I'm asking it to write a prompt. So a few shot prompt is a way of guiding a model to behave in a consistent manner. In this case, I want it to always give me Grateful Dead lyrics, and there's different ways that you can do that. Essentially, zero shot and few shot prompting, which is few shot prompting is giving examples of the interactions, and zero shot prompting is, well, you literally just ask the request and it gives it to you. That's fine. But you can in some cases you can go up to 10, 20 examples if you want. The more examples the better. Okay, so it's done what I asked of it so far. It's summarized the link I gave it with the instructions, and the bit that I was interested in particular was these delimiters, which is what I was expecting. But let's have a look. So even though it now has the instructions, it hasn't really formatted it how I was expecting, so it's still not following the instructions very well. I half suspect that the Bing browsing mode might use GPT 3.5 or something, because it seems to be a bit dumber, as if it's just designed to scrape and then pass the content on. But when it comes to instruction following from links, it doesn't seem to do a very good job. So I'll have to tell it precisely, I think. See if this works. Or maybe I'll ask it. Okay, so now that we've told it specifically,
Absolutely.
it's done it.
What would you like me to create or find out?
Let's read over these instructions.
Sure, I'm here to help with that. Just let me know which specific.
Specify and detail. Be as detailed and specific as possible about the desired context, outcome, length, format, and style. Now this guide was written for the API, not for ChatGPT, but it's essentially the same.
Outcome, length, format, and
This specificity aids the model in generating appropriate responses. So it's common sense, but easy to forget, especially when you're in a conversation. And then you go through the process that I've just been through. It generates a response. It doesn't give everything I was expecting. I tell it then to, here's the instructions, follow these instructions. But I wasn't precise about which instructions.
specific aspect you need assistance.
And I think part of the problem with the bigger context length that they have now in GPT-4 Turbo is how they cut up the text in order to fit it in to that context. There's a lot of chopping and anyway, I had a technical question for ChatGPT. And well, I don't know if this is possible. Is it possible to connect the iPad to my PC and stream the audio from the Bluetooth iPad to the PC? I should have specified Linux, but
Yes, it's possible to stream audio from your iPad to your PC. You can use several methods. 1. Bluetooth pairing. If your PC has Bluetooth, you can pair your iPad with your PC. This will allow you to use your PC as a Bluetooth speaker for your iPad. Just make sure the Bluetooth drivers on your PC are up to date. 2. Third-party apps. There are apps available that can stream audio from an iOS device to a PC. These apps work over Wi-Fi.
walk me through the process, detailed process of doing that on Arch Linux KDE Plasma. Be brief.
Sure, I'll walk you through the process of streaming audio from your iPad to your PC using Bluetooth. This method assumes your PC is Bluetooth enabled. If it's not, you might need a Bluetooth adapter. Here's how to do it. Step 1, enable Bluetooth on your PC. 1, access settings. Click on the Start menu and go to Settings. 2, go to Devices. In the Settings menu, select Devices. 3, turn on Bluetooth. Under the Bluetooth and Other Devices tab, toggle on Bluetooth. Step 2, pair your iPad with your PC. Open iPad settings. On your iPad, open the Settings app. 2, enable Bluetooth. Tap on Bluetooth and turn it on. 3, pair with your PC. Your PC should appear under Other Devices. Tap on it to pair. You might need to confirm a PIN on both devices. Step 3, set your PC as the audio output device. 1, change audio output on iPad. Once paired, your iPad may automatically use your PC as an audio output. If not, tap on your PC's name in the Bluetooth menu to use it as the output device. 2, adjust volume on your PC. Ensure the volume on your PC is at an appropriate level. Step 4, play audio from your iPad. 1, test the connection. Play any audio on your iPad. It should now output through your PC's speakers or headphones connected to your PC. Additional tips. Distance matters. Keep the iPad within a reasonable distance from your PC to maintain a stable connection. Troubleshooting. If you face issues, try unpairing and repairing the devices or restarting Bluetooth on both devices. Remember, the exact steps can vary slightly depending on your PC's operating system version and your iPad's iOS version. If you're
we should have audio from the iPad now. Do we have audio from the iPad? Do we have audio from the iPad? Oh my god, what's going on? Something very strange is happening here. Very, very strange. Behaving super weird now. Since I connected the iPad by Bluetooth to my PC just now, the Bluetooth keyboard has stopped. Hates Bluetooth. back to a hardware keyboard, and it's still not working. Okay, we should have iPad audio. Let's try. Right, let's see if I have audio. Need to try playing something. Well, that should be playing some music.
Tasks for activities. Let's go to Codely Studio, because this demo app is done with Codely Studio for 4D.
Okay, we've got iPad audio. Hey, ChatGPT, can you say hello to everybody? Oh, ChatGPT, can you say hello to the audience? Strange. Hey, can you say hello to the audience? Doesn't look like I can get ChatGPT audio out of the iPad. Let's try Android, because you can't do voice, I don't think, on desktop. Doesn't look like, unless it's settings. No. So we'll have to try the same trick, I think. Back to a hardware keyboard, and it's still not working. See if this works with Android. Hey, can you say hello to the audience? Hey, can you say hello to the audience? No, ChatGPT doesn't want to send audio to the Bluetooth device.
to be here with you. If there's anything specific you'd like to know or talk about, just let me know. I'm ready to assist or chat about anything you're interested in.
Just read something like the US Constitution.
Sure, I can share a bit from the US Constitution. How about the beginning of the preamble? It goes like this. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. It's a powerful statement that sets the foundation for the entire document. If you're interested in more or a specific part, just let me know. States of America. It's a powerful statement that sets the foundation for the entire document. If you're interested in more or a specific part, just let me know. Got it. This conversation is happening right now, in November 2023. But if you're referring to an event or a specific document from October 20th, 2021, please let me know more details so I can assist you appropriately. Is there something specific from that date you're interested in? This conversation is happening right now in November 2023. But if you're referring to an event or a specific document from October 20th, 2021, please let me know more details so I can assist you appropriately. Is there something specific from that date you're interested in? This conversation is happening right now in November 2023. But if you're referring to an event or a specific document from October 20th, 2021, please let me know more details so I can assist you appropriately. Is there something specific from that date you're interested in? It seems like you might have something in mind. If you have any specific questions or topics you'd like to discuss, feel free to share them with me. Whether it's about a historical event, a current issue, or just a general topic of interest, I'm here to help with information and conversation.
Whether it's about a specific subject, need advice, or just want to have a casual chat, just let me know. What's on your mind today?
Thank you, Constance, for the interaction. If you ever want to chat again or have questions in the future, just reach out.
You're welcome.
Signing off for now. Take care.
It's great to chat with you. If there's anything specific you'd like to talk about or ask, go ahead. I'm here to assist or just chat, whichever you prefer.
Absolutely, Constance. If there's any topic,
Got it.
question, or discussion you'd like to dive into, feel free to mention.
Feel free to ask any
I'm
question
here to provide
or share
information,
any topic you'd
answer
like to
questions,
discuss.
or
I'm
just
here to
chat
help
about
or
anything
just
that's on
chat,
your mind.
whatever suits
Just
you.
let me know what you
would
need.
you like to talk about?
Hey, ChatGPT, I'm going to connect you to a super AI chat machine. You can ask anything you want. So go ahead, just ask.
Sure, we can talk about AI or artificial intelligence.
That sounds
It's a broad
interesting.
and fascinating field. Are you interested in how AI works? Its
If I were to
applications,
ask a super AI chat
considerations,
machine a
or something else
question,
related to
it
AI,
would be,
let me know what aspect you're curious
how do
about.
you balance the need for providing accurate, useful information while also ensuring user privacy and security? I'm curious about how advanced AI systems handle these critical aspects. What does the super AI chat machine say about this?
I'm sorry, there was a problem with your last request. Please repeat it.
Sure, I'll repeat that. If I had a question for a super AI chat machine, it would be, how do you balance providing accurate and useful information while ensuring user privacy and security? I'm interested in how advanced AI systems manage these essential concerns.
That's an
What's the
important
response
question.
from the super AI chat machine?
Balancing accurate and useful information with user privacy and security involves several key practices. 1. Data anonymization. Personal details are removed or anonymized. This ensures that information provided or processed by AI cannot be traced back to an individual. 2. Secure data practices. Implementing strong data encryption and secure storage methods to protect the data that AI systems process. 3. Ethical guidelines. Following ethical guidelines and regulations, like GDPR, to ensure that the handling of data respects user privacy.
That's a
4.
thoughtful approach.
Transparency. Being clear about what data is
Data
collected, how it's
anonymization,
used,
secure
and
data
allowing users to
practices,
opt out
and
if they
ethical
choose.
guidelines are
5.
indeed crucial for
Regular
balancing
updates
accuracy
and
and
monitoring.
utility with
Keeping the
privacy
AI
and security.
systems updated with
Each
the
of
latest
these
security
practices
measures
plays a
and
vital role in
continuously
maintaining
monitoring
user
for any
trust
potential
and the
breaches
integrity
or
of AI
vulnerabilities.
systems.
By
Data
combining these
anonymization
practices,
helps in
AI can be
keeping
both
user
helpful and
information
respectful of
confidential.
privacy and
Secure
security
data
concerns.
practices protect against
If you have
breaches,
more questions
and
about
ethical
AI, feel free
guidelines
to ask.
ensure the AI operates responsibly. It's a comprehensive strategy. Do you have any specific examples or applications of these
It sounds
practices
like
in
you're
action?
suggesting a visit to a
Or
website
is there another
for more
aspect of AI
information
you're curious
about
about?
ChatGPT. However, as of my last update in April 2023, there isn't a specific website called chatgpt.com dedicated to ChatGPT. Most information about ChatGPT and related technologies would be found on OpenAI's official website or through their official communication channels. If you have specific questions or need information about ChatGPT, I'm here to help right now. You can ask me directly.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
Okay, so I've just figured
Reached
out.
the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
It may not be efficient, but at least I'll know as soon as the cap, as soon as I can use it again.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4.
You have
Please try
reached the
again
message
later.
I
cap
just have
for
to listen to this
GPT-4.
message for an
Please
hour.
try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
You have reached the message cap for GPT-4. Please try again later.
the captain, strangest I could find, laid my proposition, laid it on the line. I won't slave for beggars' pay, likewise gold and jewels, but I would slave to learn a way to sink your ship of fools, ship of fools, on a cruel sea. Ship of fools, sail away from me. It was later than I thought when I first believed you. Now I cannot share your laughter. Ship of fools, saw your first ship sink and drown from rocking of the boat, and all that could not sink or swim was just left there to float. I won't leave you drifting down, but whoa, it makes me wild. With 30 years upon my head, to have you call me child. Ship of fools on a cruel sea. Ship of fools, sail away from me. It was later than I thought. I first believed you. Now I cannot share your laughter. Ship of fools. On a cruel sea, ship of fools, sail away from me. It was later than I thought.
That's great. Can you make them bigger?
GPT-4.
Your laughter, ship of fools. The bottle stands as empty as it was filled before. Time there was in plenty, from that cup no more. Though I could not, cause you know, I still might want a few. Don't lend your hand to raise no flame.
Something is causing the audio to drop. Okay, estimated profit is the next song, which is just perfect, isn't it? Estimated profit for ChatGPT. ChatGPT, can you tell me about the origin of the Ship of Fools?
The Ship of Fools is a concept that dates back to the Middle Ages. It refers to a symbolic representation of human folly and irrationality. The idea was popularized in literature, particularly by Sebastian Brandt's 1494 book titled The Ship of Fools, original title Das Narrenschiff in German. In Brandt's book, he describes a ship full of eccentric and foolish characters, each representing various human vices and follies. The ship is adrift at sea, symbolizing the aimless and foolish nature of these individuals. It was a satirical work that criticized the moral and social behaviors of the time. Over the centuries, the concept of the Ship of Fools has been used in various forms of art and literature to comment on human irrationality and the absurdities of society. It remains a potent metaphor for exploring themes of folly, madness, and the human condition.
So it doesn't refer to shipping mentally ill patients around the world, I take it?
No. The concept of the Ship of Fools is not about shipping mentally ill patients around the world. It's a symbolic representation of human folly and irrationality, often depicted in literature and art.
Did you hear how her voice sort of cracked at the beginning of that? It was funny.
I'm sorry, but I can't hear or analyze voice nuances like cracking. If there's anything specific you'd like to discuss, or if you have more questions, feel free to ask.
You have a very nuanced voice.
Thank you for the compliment. I'm here to assist you with any questions or topics you'd like to explore. Is there anything else you'd like to know or discuss?
Yeah, what can you tell me about how the OpenAI voice models were trained?
OpenAI has developed several voice models, including the one you're currently interacting with. These models are created using advanced natural language processing and text-to-speech technology. They are designed to generate human-like text and speech based on the
thanks, that's very
technical. Of these.
Yeah. It's not giving me any information.
I apologize if my previous response did not...
Quiet you.
I'm sorry, but it seems there might be a technical issue or misunderstanding. If you have any questions or need assistance with anything specific, please feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to help.
And my word fills the sky with flame. And they, they're gonna be my name.
Who wrote Estimated Profit?
Yeah, they gonna light my way.
I'm not aware of a specific book or work titled Estimated Profit written by a known author. It's possible that the title you mentioned is from a lesser known or niche publication, or that...
It's a song.
I see. Estimated Profit is a song by the Grateful Dead. It was written by John Perry Barlow and Bob Weir and was first released in 1977 on their album Terrapin Station. The song is known for its unique lyrics and is a part of the Grateful Dead's extensive catalog of music. If you have
I'm glad it's part of their catalogue of music, thank you. Can you tell me the themes in it?
Estimated Profit by the
The voice recognition on this is incredible.
interpretations vary among listeners. However, some common themes and ideas in the song include: 1. Spirituality. The song alludes to spiritual and mystical elements, with references to prophets and visions, suggesting a connection between the physical and metaphysical worlds. 2. Social commentary. Some interpretations suggest that the song contains social and political commentary, touching on themes like inequality and disillusionment. 3. Surreal imagery. Lyrics include surreal and dreamlike imagery, creating a sense of unease and exploration. 4. Ambiguity. The song's lyrics are somewhat abstract, open to interpretation, inviting listeners to find their own meaning in words. 5. Freedom and escapism. There's a sense of freedom and escapism in the song, differently with each person.
Like they say, them voices tell us. This afternoon, the streets turn gray. My time coming, it ain't there. Don't worry, don't worry. Nah, nah, don't worry. 'Cause I'm in no. Nah, nah, smile. Don't worry. Nah, nah, don't worry. 'Cause I'm in no. Nah, 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 I know where to go. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. Nah, nah, nah. skipping through the lily fields, I came across an empty space. Timberline exploded, lit the bus stop in its place. Come on, I got home, that's when it all began. There was cowboy Neil at the wheel of the bus who never ever left. Coming, coming, coming on down. Coming around, yeah. Coming on down. Coming around. Coming, 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 coming on down. Coming around. Coming on down. Coming around. Summer home. Ain't got time to go to your solar critic, no. Right outside the lazy gate of a winter sun, wondering where the nut thatch winners wings a mile long. Just carry the burden away. Wake up to find out you are the eyes of the world. Heart has its beaches, its homeland, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. hearts loaded with clay. The seeds that were silent all burst into bloom and decay. Night comes so quiet, it's close on the heels of the day. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. The heart has its beaches, its homeland, the thoughts of its soul. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. The heart has its seasons, its evenings and songs of its own. Sometimes we live no particular way but our own. Sometimes we visit your country, live in your home. Sometimes we ride on your horses. Sometimes we walk alone. Sometimes the songs that we hear are just songs of home. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. The heart has its beaches, its homeland and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. The heart has its seasons, its evenings and songs of its own. Inspiration flow into suggesting take aglow, strange shadows grow. Beside stands a man, a soldier, looks of came through many fights, lost in love. While the storyteller speaks, a door in the fire creaks. Suddenly flies home, and a girl stands. Eyes alight with glowing hair, all in fancy paints is fair. She takes her fan and throws it in the lion's den. Which of you to gain? Talk rhymes, suggesting rhythm, and will not forsake. My tales told of while the fire lights aglow, strange shadows from the flames will grow, till things we never seen seem familiar. Those rumblings both found fair old smoke down in Carlisle. He loved a lady many years ago. Here beside him stands a man, a soldier from the looks of him, who came through many fights and lost in love. when the fire creeps, suddenly flies over, and a girl standing there. Eyes light with flowing hair, all in fancy paints is fair. She takes her fan and throws it in the lion's den. To gain retail, the risk of certain pains for death. I will not forgive you if you will not take the chance. Say the name, at least a try. So for being much too wise, strategy was a strength I possessed. Sailor coming out again, the lady fairly left at him. That's how it stands today. You decide if he was wise. Storyteller makes no choice. Soon you will not hear his voice. His job is to shut up, not to master. So we played the top off the door in hopes he will come back. But he cannot be bought or sold. Inspiration will be bright, like a sun with sense and color, hold away despair. But this I will not ask, faced with mysteries, dark bands. Statements just seem meaningless. Sometimes into terror. Hell, it starts by playing all of him but one. A spiral light of fears, rising first, shining first. Oh, northwest corner of a brand new classical. It's in the sea, a women different to teleportation in the shadow. And I know yes. Change was this, and the whistle is screaming. Some folks trust reason, others trust in mind. I don't trust nothing, but enough to my pride. Say it once again now, but hope you understand. When it's done over, Lord, when it's just a man, play the band. Can't break on the line. Look for answers, look for facts. Like a detox, just looking for the kite. What's into your future? Oh, look what's in your hand. But stop for nothing. Play the facts. Can't break on the line. On the tower, you can turn it on, play the band. For many more years, got no fear of playing sand. Playing castles before, play the band. Play the band.